Hi everybody, I hope you're doing well. I'm recording this on Saturday the 1st of April 2023. How are we in quarter two already? The last 3 months have gone by quick. However, there's been a lot packed into the last 3 months, as I'm sure you've all felt. Lots of energy going on, lots of planetary movements, and we're still on our healing journey. We're still on this journey of transformation. Very powerful energy going on, very intense energy. So give yourselves a pat on the back, as I keep saying, because, keep going. Sovereignty is shining through, keep going. So I thought I'd take some tarot cards today and oracle cards and see what the messages might be coming through. I've also recorded an astrology overview, which is on my Goddess of Neptune YouTube channel. Check that out if it resonates for you. And that focuses really on the day's astrology, but mainly because I was guided to look at Lilith and the moon. So if that resonates for you, check it out. Link in my page bio. So let's jump into the reading. Light Seers Tarot. Let's see what we have for the collective. Of course, messages from the pure white light only coming through to help uplift, inspire and empower you as a collective. And goes without saying, the collective is vast. It's not going to resonate for everybody. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. So check out the astrology overview if you're interested. But if you're just here for the tarot, that's absolutely fine. Let's see what messages we've got coming through. Okay, what do we have for the collective? Thank you. Ace of Swords in reverse. Oh, that one flew out. Bear with me, I'll have to get that one off the floor. Ooh. Yeah, the energy needs grounding. Right, those three came out together. Interesting. The sun in reverse on the bottom, and that's interesting because of my astrology overview. So bear with me. I'm just going to grab this one, and it's very interesting, the one that's on there. Five of Pentacles. Right. So we have the Ace of Swords first of all. So this is the need for clarity. We might be feeling like we need some clarity at the moment. And certainly that clarity can come from within us, as we see depicted here. Beautiful deck. I love this deck. And it might have been because we've had to go round and round in a situation in order to get that clarity, in order for the light to shine through that situation, to be clear, to be transparent. But clarity is needed, or truth is needed of some kind, because of feeling some sorrow, some loss, if that's from the past, it could be. But recognize that we have the key in the background and the lock. So this door can be opened. There is potential opportunity that could be unlocked for somebody. However, might be sitting in a bit of fear, might be sitting in a bit of sorrow. Five of Pentacles, 5 is all about change. So perhaps some resistance to change, fear to change. We know what's going on with Pluto at the moment. And 4 of Cups in reverse. Am I really that interested in this gift from the divine? And then we have these three that came out together. 5 of Cups in reverse, Queen of Swords and 6 of Wands in reverse. So this is about cutting through the BS of a situation. Also ties in with this. Swords energy, clarity. Queen of Swords uses her sword of truth to cut through the crap to get to the truth. Needing to come out of self-sabotage. Because with the 5 of Cups, it's also a 5, that's 2 5s. So angel number 55 might be symbolic for you. You could be seeing that around. 5 is all about change, of course. But this character on the card here is not even really interested in emotional fulfillment, because she's actually sabotaging the emotional fulfillment by putting her foot in the 1 cup and letting the divine flow of abundance and emotional fulfillment flow out. But there is a sense of coming out of that, or needing to come out of that, needing to come out of self-sabotage and lack of victory. So what's in the middle of this? What's in the middle of this kind of self-sabotage and lack of victory? Truth and sovereignty. This is all about being your sovereign self. We've certainly got a lot of energy in Aries at the moment, empowering sovereignty, empowering us to be ourselves. Aries represents the house of the self. This is all about, and that's fire energy, of course, this is air energy, but this is sovereignty. So regardless of gender, whether it's Queen of Swords, King of Swords, this is the energy of the card that's come out. This is cutting through the crap, people. This is getting to the truth of something. Because at the moment, there is lack of victory and you're not being seen in your true expression of self, because perhaps a cycle needs to close out. And there are still those elements of self-sabotage, which could, of course, be why there's been that feeling, because that represents sorrow and that represents sorrow. This can also represent sorrow, because if you look at her face, it's almost like disinterested, because the 3 cups on the one side are empty. So why should I look at this cup that the divine wants to give me of emotional fulfillment? Why should I? Am I worthy of it? Don't really know, don't really care. So there's a need to come out of that. Snap out of that. And on the bottom, yeah, the sun in reverse. So not feeling able to be that true expression of self. Now, interestingly, what I go into in the astrology overview is that Lilith is there in Leo. Of course, the sun is a Leo card. The moon is currently transiting through Leo as well. So our feelings might be doing this because we're wanting to be that true expression of self, of who we are at the core. But Lilith is reminding us of self-esteem issues or wounds or trauma patterns that we're actually navigating through on our healing journey, but it's like little reminders. So of course we give gratitude to Lilith for that, but it's almost a kind of, okay, I'm Lilith, I want to just show you this, you know, just in case you think you're worthy of that. Do you really think you're worthy of that? Which could put doubt in our mind. Again, gratitude to Lilith. Thank you, Lilith. You're showing me that I need to just make absolutely sure that I know who I am at my core, and I can move forward with that strength, with that authenticity, with that empowerment in order to be who I am at the core. Coming out of that and unlocking the door. And then turning this around and accepting the cup of emotional fulfillment from the divine. And maybe that's the clarity that's needed. But you need to uphold your sovereignty to get to the truth of the matter. Use your wisdom, use your intellect. Don't be too cold and detached. However, there might be people you need to detach from in order to get to the truth. And yeah, underneath that sun in reverse, so by not being your true expression of self, there is lack of movement forward towards stability. Knight of Pentacles reverse. And clearly something needs to end. 10 of Wands in reverse. Too much burden, too much energetic weight to a situation. Very interesting. Let's see if we've got an additional message from the universal weight. The full moon that's coming up on the 5th or 6th, wherever you are in the world, 6th for the UK, might be bringing that illumination of truth also, but there is a need for us to be empowered to seek that truth ourselves. And the Queen of Swords doesn't mess around. Okay, 9 of Wands. So there is that feeling of being guarded. Perhaps we're trying to protect ourselves, and that's why we're kind of moving forward with a little bit of fear, hesitancy. Oh, that one came out in the astrology overview as well. Yeah, feeling trapped by overthinking, stress and anxiety, but it's an illusion. And this came out on its side. 2 of Cups, soulmate connection. So could be that you're dealing with a soulmate who doesn't know which way to turn. The connection probably doesn't know which way to turn because there's stagnancy at the moment. So that truth needs to be illuminated. Very interesting. Judgment. So, judgment call. Judgment call within the soul. Your soul's calling. Your soul knows what's in divine alignment for you and what isn't. There is heavy, heavy energy at the moment calling for transformation, deep transformation, which can be uncomfortable, and change. This is Libra energy. So when you think of fairness, reciprocity, justice in that way, even though it's not the justice card, but Libra symbolizes that to me, balance. If anything isn't giving you balance, then it needs to change. It either needs to be released or it needs to change, because it's not fair. So the judgment call, you're going to answer the call. The judgment call to your soul, what your soul knows to be true. Because there's stagnancy at the moment by not doing that. And the full moon that's coming up on the 5th or 6th, wherever you are, is the full moon in Libra. So that's going to be very profound for releasing those relationships or connections that are not balanced, that are not reciprocal, that are not equal. You know, there's not that equal give and take. Let's go to the Queen of the Moon. Okay. Oh, yes. Assessing and darkness. So needing to look at something, but also needing to look at it from a higher perspective. So through our ascension, we naturally do that. And that's why as we ascend and evolve, we then recognize through our feelings, through our intuition, through our experiences, where things are no longer in alignment for us. Because we've evolved and ascended, we can look at something differently, but it naturally becomes out of alignment with us. It's not in every situation, but that's why it can feel uncomfortable, because it might be a situation or a connection or a job, whatever it is, it might be something that you've had for a long time. And as you've been going through this healing journey, this spiritual evolution, this transformation, you're no longer the same as you were when that thing or that person first came into your life. So you gradually begin to drift from that thing, from that person, and it can feel uncomfortable because it's change, things are changing, and it's all energetic, everything's energy. So assessing a situation for what it is, and again, assessing it for what it is, getting to the truth, cutting through the crap, cutting through the illusion, cutting through layers of falseness or lies, to see it for what it really is, but from a higher perspective. And needing to navigate through the darkness quite often, our shadow self, as these wounds come up, as trauma from the past comes up to remind us. Lilith reminds us. So again, check out the astrology overview if that resonates for you. Let's see if there's anything else from the Queen of the Moon. There is. It fell on the floor. Bear with me. This is another one that's fallen on the floor. Oh, yeah. The path in reverse. So at the moment, it might not feel like the path is visible to you. But there is also that comfort in knowing that if we're doing things in accordance with our divine authenticity and our sovereign self, then the path is going to get illuminated to us. Just like it does here, through the darkness, it's being illuminated to us. So here we see this kind of portal, and you have to climb the ladder to get through. So it feels almost out of reach. But when you look at this, you know, that's higher up as well. So by taking that higher look, that higher perspective of something in accordance with your truth, then the path will become more accessible, more visible to you. And there is also that need to surrender as well. There's a need to recognize that the divine has got your back. And if you're doing things in accordance with your divinity, it's going to be shown to you. But often we don't know this at the time because we need to just navigate through. And that's why the path gets illuminated at certain points, if that makes sense. I'm saying it. So recognize you are divinely protected. Okay, through this transformative process, because it's heavy going. I am going to take one from the Astro decks. I use this one for the astrology overview as well, but we'll see what comes out. See if there's any other messages. Okay. Any other messages, please, for the collective? Thank you so much. They all want to fly on the floor today. Wow. 11th house, community. Pluto is in Aquarius, and Aquarius rules the 11th house. Now, of course, check your chart to see where Pluto is transiting through, because that's going to give you an idea of how it relates to you on a personal level. But collectively, Aquarius rules the 11th house. 11th house has come out, and intuitively, I felt Pluto. So connections, your community, your tribe, is it in alignment? Are those people in alignment with your values and your worth? Does anything need to change? Because, you know, we have Uranus calling for change in the sign of Taurus relating to our worth and values, but certainly Pluto is calling for deep transformation. So are we still in alignment with these individuals that are around us? Wow. On the bottom, 7th house, relationships in reverse. Yeah, there is a need to assess the relationships that need to be released, those that need to change or transform in some way. And in order for relationships to change or transform, that's where the truth needs to come into it. And 10th house underneath that, authority. So being able to use our authority as a sovereign self to recognize where change is needed and to actually speak from that authority in order to change something within a connection or relationship with somebody else. Could even be relationships with our thoughts, or relationships, people, places, things. However, 11th house has come out, that's certainly about others, people, you know. So take it as it resonates for you, of course. And finally, I wanted to just pull a card from the Native Spirit Oracle deck. I don't use this very often, but I was drawn to it today. So there must be a message in there for us. So we'll see what comes through. From the Native Spirit, one has just decided to stay on the table. So I'm going to see what that one is as well. Let's see. And my throat chakra is actually wanting to close there. So that's interesting. Prayer feather we have. On the bottom, freedom horse. So think about that freedom, that liberation of truth, of being your authentic self. And there we go. So the one that wanted to stay on the table is peace pipe. We are striving for peace in our situations. We want peace in our lives. We want harmony. We want love and abundance, and we are worthy of that. But we're having to navigate through this journey where things do need to close out. We need to be partially detached from a situation so that our emotions don't cloud the truth, but also not be too detached, you know, to be able to recognize where we need to make changes. But that is about sovereignty, definitely, in order to gain that peace. And with prayer feather, what that's symbolizing to me is there is that need to go within. And of course, there's going to be a higher meaning to that as well. So take it how it resonates for you when you look at that image. But to me, that symbolizes meditation and also nature. So being out in nature, gaining that clarity from nature, that could be where the clarity is going to come in for you that's needed, because the light is shining here as well. So the light from that shining and being received also into the crown chakra. So be out in nature, meditate. And you could even meditate by visualizing you're in nature, even if you're doing it in your house, you know, wherever you choose to meditate. But being out in nature, of course, priceless, because you can just be amongst Mother Gaia. And often when we can align with Gaia in that way, we get the answers that we need. And it's a peaceful place. Nature is a peaceful place. We need to recognize that there's simplistic element to this as well. And we don't need to be too harsh on ourselves. But where change is really being called for and where cycles are needing to close out, you know, Pluto is really bringing that intense energy. Saturn is also bringing intense energy, having now moved into Pisces. So, you know, into the spiritual house, into the house of the divine. What is in divine alignment for us? Do we need to learn any more lessons about that? So it's been intense, but this is relating to community, those around us, the connections we have with others around us. Where do things need to change? Where is it not balanced? And that will hopefully guide the way. But nature would be a good starting point, to just be in nature, even if it's 5-10 minutes, to take a walk in nature, to sit in nature, to sit by a tree, to gain that wisdom from the tree as well. That could be very powerful for you. But there's certainly something that the divine wants to offer you. But do you want to accept it? Or do you want to remain in sorrow? When you see the vibrancy of the cup of emotional fulfillment that the divine wants to hand you, it's better to come out of this illusionary state of fear and being trapped by acknowledging that the situation needs to be looked at from a higher perspective, and that truth and clarity is needed, and you're the one that can bring that. Because yes, Gaia can provide that for us. I was trying to say too many words at the same time. Gaia can provide that for us. Spirit can provide that for us by the clarity that comes in through the insight that we get, our intuition, that source energy within us. We know, we also know, our soul knows. So we need to use our sovereignty to find the answers through our intuition, through cutting through with the sword of truth, and also by connecting with nature, to recognize the situation for what it is, and to then be able to move forward in alignment with our true divine integrity. So I'm sending you love and blessings. And as I mentioned, the astrology overview is available on my YouTube channel. So check that out if it resonates. That's relating to Lilith and the moon, but I also cover other aspects going on. But yes, until the next time, I'm sending you love and blessings. Take care and just keep on your healing journey. You're doing well. Amazing transformation, and you should be proud of yourselves. Take care, everyone. Love and blessings.